Hello and welcome to the show. Good morning, everyone. It is Janine, the pricing lady, here with you today. I help small businesses know what and how to charge their customers so that they can close more deals and earn more money. I'm so pleased that you're here with me this morning. Today, what I want to talk to you is about how your prices are speaking out in the world. Now, this is an aspect of pricing that a lot of people don't always think about. Excuse me, I feel a sneeze coming on. Let's hope that it goes away. So yes, your prices are constantly communicating something. On top of that, your own behavior around your prices is communicating even more. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today because it is so important to your overall pricing strategy. Now, there are a few things at play here. As I said before, the first thing that is communicating with people is the number that you use or the numbers that you use and how you use them. Second is what you're communicating around those numbers. So hello to those of you who have joined us. If you stay on here and listen and have questions, please type them in the chat and I'll try and address them later. So the first two things I said that affect the communication or how your prices are speaking is the number and what you communicate. The last thing is what you do. So there are three things here that are at play when it comes to what your prices are communicating in the market. Let's look at each of these. So now the first thing that you want to think about is the number itself. And how is the number communicating with people? The first way that your price, the number, is communicating with people is if it's good value for money, if it's lower value for a lower price, if it's higher value for a higher price, right? So the level where you set your price or how you position yourself amongst other competitors or in the marketplace is going to play a big role in how people perceive you. Let's just look for a brief moment at, for example, the coaching world. You can find coaches who will charge $50 an hour, $40 an hour, even less maybe, and you'll find coaches that charge $5,000 or $10,000 an hour. Now, they may be operating in very different industries, or they may be bringing different levels of value, or they could even be in the same industry and doing the same thing. But the perception that they're giving people from the start when it comes to what price they're charging is actually telling the audience about how they perceive themselves. Now, you may have heard me say before or talked before about your overall pricing strategy, which is, am I a price taker or a price maker? A price taker are the ones who are going after low cost or low priced solutions for their customers, whether it be a product or service, and they'll take whatever price the customers are willing to pay, right? So they're kind of giving up quality quite often in order to be able to compete better on price. Your price makers are at the other end of the spectrum. They are saying, this is my price, I deliver all of this value, and therefore that price is warranted, and you have to pay that if you want this. So they're two very different strategies. And again, in a market or in an industry, where you position yourself on that spectrum says a lot about you and the brand that you have. Now, the second way in which the number is communicating something, and most of us have observed this, but maybe don't totally understand it, is how we end those numbers. Now, I was in a shop the other day, and this shop is a rather high-end shop. They don't have price tags on things, which is a common way to communicate that you're a price maker in an industry, yes. And they have a pricing card in the whole store. And when I looked at the pricing card, I realized all of their prices, every single one, ends in an odd number, so 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. You did not see a single price end in an even number. And that communicates something to the audience. First of all, when we use zeros at the end of the number, that can be a premium signal, but it can also signal to customers that we haven't fully thought through what the price could be because it's not precise enough. By ending it in these odd numbers, this company is actually saying, we've thought these through, and this is the precise price that we want to communicate. Very interesting, right? Also, this company doesn't offer discounts except for once a year, and they don't offer it the same time every year. And this will come back to later when we talk about what you do around your prices. So that's a little bit about the numbers. There's a lot of psychology behind the numbers, and you can do some research online to find out more about that. Or of course, you can always talk to me or join one of my programs. So the second piece that we said is what you're communicating around your prices. So if you've listened to me or consumed my content, then you know that you have to set your prices and get them. And the getting, in large part, is about the communication. So what are we talking about when we say what your prices are actually communicating out there? Or how you're communicating around your prices. So one of the best examples that I've seen recently, or worst examples, so this is an example of bad behavior, I would call it, or not being aligned with your pricing strategy, and that is this whole concept around Black Friday. Now, what we see these days, so many of you know I live here in Switzerland. Here in Switzerland, we have Black Friday too, even though we have no Thanksgiving. And we know that Black Friday, the whole concept came primarily from the day after Thanksgiving when people had off work, so they were a captive audience and they were already starting their Christmas shopping. Well, in other parts of the world, they've started to adopt it too. And what I saw this year is a lot of very premium brands offering Black Friday specials. And to me, this is an example of your pricing communication being at odds or in conflict with your brand and the image or the value that you want to deliver. Black Friday discounts are generally perceived, on an unconscious level especially, as, yes, I want to play and fight on price. Now, of course, some companies are using it just to get people in the door, but again, what is the consequence of that? What is it doing to the brand and to your position as a price maker as opposed to a price taker? This is something that you want to think about before you do things like offer discounts. Customers are trained, and we train them quite often, right? So if you think about in a traditional, say, in a traditional product-based company where they have monthly quotas that they have to meet for their sales targets, and salespeople are out there trying to sell, and at the end of the month you start to see that you're not going to hit that sales target, what often happens is companies will start offering discounts. And they do that in month 1. And then they might do it in month 2. And by month 3, customers know to hold all their orders until the end of the month so that they can benefit from the discount. Now, in the long run, this is not good for the company or for the customer because the company may not be there any longer if they can't operate profitably. But you can see how what you do or your behavior around your prices impacts not only your brand, but then also your customers and sometimes your competition's behavior. Now, you have to be careful when it comes to the competition because you don't want to do something called price signaling, which is signaling to the competition that you're making a change in hopes that they will follow. You don't want to be caught doing that because that is against the law. What you do want to do is you want to make sure that you understand how your behavior and how you're communicating around your prices is actually influencing other people's behavior and your brand. So the last part I started to get into a little bit as well, but what you do around your prices will also impact how people perceive you and that brand positioning that you have or that you want to have. So I was telling you about the shop that I was in the other day that has all the prices that end in odd numbers, and that they only offer a discount once a year, and they rotate when they offer it. Now, why might they do that? Well, if you've been listening, you already heard the answer in there. They do that so that customers don't wait until a certain time of year in order to make their purchases. I mean, just think, if the only time of year that you offered a discount was Christmas, when people are already out there buying gifts, it's maybe not the most ideal time to make a special offer if you're going to make one. You might want to do it during a time of year where you need to bring more people in because volume is typically low rather than a time period when volume is high. That could be one strategy that you use. That's an example. You've also heard me talk about before how if you're making an offer to a customer, it's ideal, not always do people choose this strategy, but it's ideal to have 3 different levels of value. So three different offers with 3 different levels of values at 3 different price points. This way you're giving customers an option. And again, this is about your behavior and how you're treating your prices. Now, some businesses can get away with offering just one thing, and that is fantastic. But for most businesses, you're going to want to offer different products and services that have a different level of value to them. And when you do that, you demonstrate to customers that there is a trade-off between price and value. One of the best examples of this that I can think of is what I call do it yourself, do it with me, or do it for me pricing. Right? Actually, that was posted on my website last week, I believe, was a pricing tip. And what this means is that if you look at your products or your offers in these 3 areas, then you're clearly showing the customer that there are 3 different value levels that are available to them. A client of mine recently had a customer who needs to do an upgrade to their business from a technological standpoint. And the customer, the client said, I don't want to change any of my internal processes. I want you to create me a custom software. And he asked, how much is that going to cost? And the funny thing is that it's probably going to be way out of his budget. And we know this. So what do you do in that situation? Well, you create these value points. You help the customer in a very kind way. You help them understand that there's a trade-off between the customer not changing any of their processes and you having developed a customized solution for them, and them buying something off the shelf from you, so a product that already exists. That means that they're going to have to adapt some of their processes in order to be able to use that. And then you might find a way to offer them something in between. But this very much will help your customers understand that there is a trade-off between price and value, and that you are aware of that, and you're going to help them be aware of that as well. So that was what I wanted to talk to you about today, was how your prices are out there communicating. When you set a price, you also want to be aware of these things. Think about, what does the number say to people? How does the number express your global pricing strategy in terms of the spectrum of price taker to price maker? How do the ends of your numbers express your brand or the image that you want to put out there in the world, right? Second of all, how are you communicating your prices? Are you offering special deals and bonuses, but trying to be a price maker? Sometimes that causes confusion, not just for you, but also for the customer. And what do we know about confused customers? They don't buy, right? And the last thing is what you do. Yeah, the way that you're behaving around those prices and how you're expressing that trade-off between price and value. As the business owner, you have got to take the lead in this. You need to make sure you have the right prices, exactly. You also need to make sure that you understand what your prices are communicating and that that's aligned with your business objectives and your strategy overall. When you do that, you have got a very strong position from a pricing perspective in the marketplace. When those things are at odds or not aligned with each other, you're going to feel like you're struggling with this pricing piece. And that's what I'd like you to avoid. So thank you all for watching me today and joining me here. Two pieces of information before we go. So as you know, or if you listened to me last week, you know now I am actually in the process of enrollment for my next program, Speak, Believe, and Charge Your Worth. It's an online program for micro businesses. It starts at the end of January. And if you'd like to get more information, then go to www.janineliston.com/yes. Yes, exactly. Yes is the place that you want to go. The other thing I want to invite you to do is I've created this really fantastic pricing scorecard. This is great for micro businesses and entrepreneurs. It goes through the 5 steps to pricing success. You answer a few questions and then you get a really nice summary of where you are in each of those 5 steps and how you can start to improve your pricing. One of the areas we look at in there is actually how you're communicating your prices. So on top of looking at what you're doing around the communication, you can also see how you're doing when it comes to setting the right prices, managing your prices, having a aligned voice, so how you speak about your business, and how your mindset is. Yes, your profit mindset when it comes to your business. So those are the 5 steps. I encourage you to go there. It is a complimentary thing available to you. So just go to janineliston.com/pricing-scorecard. That's all I have for you today. I wish you all the best. And because this is the last podcast of this year, 2019, I'd like to wish you a very happy holiday and all the best in 2020, health, happiness, and may all your dreams come true. Until next time, everyone, enjoy pricing.